Happy Monday, lovelies! Welcome to the start to a new weekly reading vlog. So this week I bought a few books, and it's basically these three books, right? First off, I bought Snake Eater by t.kingfisher. It's one of her newest releases. For the most part, I've mainly been reading her backlist, so I'm trying to keep up with her new releases. She released a few books at the end of last year that I haven't gotten to yet, and one that I'm planning to read this week is Nine Goblins by her. This is one of her old releases, but she re-released it in a new cover. I don't know if anything was changed in the writing. I don't think so. I think it's just a cover that was changed, and like it has like these beautiful, what do you call these, end pages. She has these, and yeah, I've always wanted to read Nine Goblins, but I never got around to it yet. So gonna be picking that one. It's gonna be like a funny fantasy by t.kingfisher, which most of her fantasies are on the hilarious side. That's why I love reading them. They have like this comedy aspect to them, and I just love reading them because of that. Like every one of her books, even when they're more on a serious side, they always have this good humorous side to them as well. So yeah, that's one book I bought. And then lastly, I'm excited for this one. I hope I love it. So I'll be venturing out into the thriller genre some more. So I bought Rock Paper Scissors. I've seen the BookTube girlies talking about this one for quite a while now, so it's always been on my radar, but I wasn't really into thrillers like that until last year. I think it was the end of 2024, and then like last year I started reading thrillers, mainly Freedom McFadden books is what I've been reading. But obviously, Freedom McFadden, her books are very repetitive, so I wanted to like venture out and read some other thrillers because I just found with her, she's a perfect author to start off reading thrillers with, in my opinion. I don't know. That's why I've seen tons of thrillers before, but I chose hers because hers seemed like it was just faster to like jump into. So that's why I did that. And now I'm gonna be going deeper into the thriller genre this year and reading more thrillers from other authors. And maybe I'll be reading this author's other works too because she's a very popular one as well. She has a bunch of books in the genre. So yeah. So this week I am looking forward to reading these two books. These are what I plan to read this week. So not really a mood reading week for me. This I definitely have this plan, but it's not on my TBR for the month because I didn't really make a January TBR, but for sure I'll be reading these two this week. So yeah, so welcome to the start to a new reading vlog. These are not very long books. I might be picking up a third book throughout the end of the week. We'll see. I do believe my weekend will be busy this weekend, so I'll probably just be good reading these two for the week, and it'll be a short weekly reading vlog. But yeah, time to get into some reading. I'm excited to start this one, honestly. So I picked up Nine Goblins today. Today's Tuesday, and I'm happy to say I just finished reading it a little bit ago. It was like a very short book. It's a novella, so it wasn't very long. It didn't take me very long to read it. It's 147 pages exactly, not counting like the author's notes and the, what do you call it, the little introduction pages, like the title page. Not counting those, it was 147 pages. And it was pretty sweet, is what I expected. It was funny, humorous, and a little action here and there. I didn't know where it was going to go with the little world building that it did have, but where it did go, I liked it. I'm trying to be vague because it's a novella, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But in all, I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. It was a fun read. So now that I'm done reading Nine Goblins, I'm excited to start Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. Looking forward to reading this one, but I will be going to work later today, so I'll be starting it tomorrow morning at best. But if not, if I come back from work earlier today, I'll start it tonight. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope I love it. I hope I love it, and I'm looking forward to getting more thrillers to read. So yeah, that's what I have in mind this week to do. Continue this to pick up this book and read it. And if I'm done earlier than I expected, because honestly, I be reading thrillers really fast, unless I hate them. Like I think the one that took me longer to read was that one by Jennifer Rose. It was like something about no one's watching. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember the title because I didn't love that book. That one took me longer to read because I was not enjoying it. But even The Silent Patient, I didn't love it, but I read it faster. But granted, I had the audiobook with that one, and I still was kind of invested. But the revelations and all that just made me mad. That's why I hated that one. So it's a different pathway to why I hated that one. But the other book by Geneva Rose, I just didn't like that from page one. But yeah, let's get off that tangent. I am excited to begin this one. Oh my goodness. So I'm currently reading Rock, Paper, Scissors, right? I was flipping through the pages to see how much pages total the book is, and I read something. It's not necessarily a spoiler, but now I kind of know something now. I shouldn't have did that, but I always do it with my books. I always read like I don't read it. I look at the last pages to see how much pages total the book is that I have to read. So I have 291 pages to read, and I'm currently at page 72. But yeah, now I'm curious. I'm curious. But yeah, I'm currently reading Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I I don't know what to feel honestly because I'm reading it. I'm just like, where is this gonna go? Which is something I love about reading thrillers, where I'm just constantly like, okay, I'm just reading it, but I'm not also like, what's gonna happen next? Like, where is this story going? What is gonna be the twist? I can't wait to get there, and that's why I keep reading. But I don't have time today to keep reading all the way through. I am gonna be off tomorrow, so that'll be perfect. I'll be able to sit down in one sitting to finish up this book because honestly, I love reading thrillers in one sitting. But obviously, life, you gotta go outside, gotta work, so you can't do that all the time with books. But I think I'm gonna stop where I'm at today because it's not going anywhere that much yet. I don't want to continue reading before I go to work and then be stuck where something's gonna move along more. So yeah, page 72 is where I got up to, and yeah, I'm gonna stop here. But definitely finishing this book tomorrow because I've already kind of spoiled myself a little bit. It's not really a spoiler. It just gave me an idea of what's gonna happen in the book because I was this one character that was mentioned. And yeah, but it's interesting so far. I want to see where it's gonna go. I want to know what kind of twist it's gonna be about. Definitely loving it so far. And I was thinking from yesterday that I'm in a mood for like a light fantasy romance. So I'm gonna finally pick up the Weaver Bride after I finish reading Rock, Paper, Scissors because I've had this one since December. I bought it and I wanted to read it, but I didn't get around to it. But I'm kind of in the mood for something like that, like a fairy-esque fantasy book. This is what I have that I haven't picked up yet. All the other fairy books I have here, I've read, so this is basically the only one that's left. It's more like on the light fantasy side. I don't know if it's a duology or anything. I never really looked into that, but yeah, I want to read this one. And it feels heavy actually. It feels heavy. But it's not a very long book. Is it? Oh yeah, it is a long book. It doesn't look that long. 460 something pages. That is quite long. But that's a regular for a fantasy book. So that's the reading plan for the rest of this week. Finish up reading Rock Paper Scissors tomorrow because I want to get through this whole book in one sitting. Well, obviously two sittings because I already started, and then I'm gonna pick up this one and continue reading it. I don't think I'm gonna finish it this week, but just to like satisfy that feeling of wanting to read a fantasy book, I'm gonna be picking this one up this week. So today is Thursday, late in the afternoon. It's about 1 p.m. So my day is starting later than I expected with this book. I wanted to pick it up in the morning, but I had to take my hair down and then wash it. So basically, it took me a very long time to wash my hair and then to blow dry it and get it to look like this, what it looks like now. It was a long process, longer than I expected. It took me a good 3 hours. Yeah. Now I'm going to continue reading Rock, Paper, Scissors and hopefully get into it all the way and finish it today. But starting later than expecting, I have some other things to do today. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to start it started. Hopefully in the next hour or two, I'll be able to start it and just sit down, relax, and read it all the way through. But yeah, it's a late start to the day today. Plans are not going as expected. This week it's been very all over the place. The weather has been cold in Florida. Like, it's crazy. Hopefully I get a really nice surprise with this thriller because so far I've been liking what I've read. But yeah, I don't really have much to update on it today. I'm being so serious when I say this is the coldest I've seen South Florida since I've lived here, and I've lived here for many years. It is so cold, and it's so gloomy outside right now. We're definitely having a winter this year. But anyway, guys, it's Friday. I need to find my place in this book. Where was I? So I made it up to 170 of Rock, Paper, Scissors. It's not happening how I expected, guys, where I would be able to read this trail in one sitting. I love being able to do that with trailers, but this week it's just not turning out that way at all for me. So I've given up on trying to sit down in one sitting and finishing the book. And honestly, I am not a big fan of the scenario where it's basically only two people in the majority of the book and they're kind of like stranded. That happened with that book. I shouldn't have come here. There were basically only two people in the entire book. I am not a big fan of that with trailers, I realize. So it's not that I'm hating the book. I'm actually still interested. I really want to see where the twist is going. That's why I love reading thrillers, because I know it's like a whole twist. But another thing with this book, though, is that it's giving the vibes of like a horror book, not a thriller. And it's really weird. I'm like, is this a horror book? I had to like go on Goodreads to check out the reviews, to check out the synopsis and see the tags if this was a horror or a thriller, if I had it wrong, because it has the beats of more like a horror book and like the themes more of a horror book than a thriller. Like horror is where like sometimes there's supernatural things going on, like there's ghosts and stuff. So it's getting there. It's a bit spooky. I don't know if that's like it's because I'm new with thrillers that it sometimes happen that it's kind of spooky. But yeah, it was getting very spooky at sometimes. Like she was really going in on the spooky parts. And I don't know if that's like intentional or what for the reader to feel afraid. But with thrillers, we're supposed as a reader, I expect to be more afraid of like real life stuff, like real life people being dangerous and like murderous, not like supernatural things. You know, they're talking about ghosts and witches in this one, so I'm like, okay, where is this going? But yeah, and then with the chapel too, I feel like it's going like in a more horror like direction than a thriller direction. And obviously the two main characters in here, the couple, they hate each other. Like, well, I wouldn't say hate, but they don't trust each other from page one. And I'm like, are they gonna like each other or what? Like, what's going on? I don't know where this is going, but I'm so invested because, as I said, it has like a horror vibe, and I'm like, why is it having a horror vibe? I want to see the revelations toward the end as to why. Hopefully, it gives me an answer to that. Why is it giving that horror vibe, like on purpose? Because it's very purposeful, like the way the author writes and like makes certain sounds here and there in the place. It reads like a horror novel, and I was like, I love it, but I love that part obviously, but I feel like it doesn't fit for what a thriller is. But I don't really know because I haven't really read that many thrillers to be saying like, oh, well, this shouldn't be in a thriller book, you know? So yeah, but I do like it. I was just surprised to find it in this book. I expect to finish this one by tomorrow because today I have errands to run, very important errands, and I don't know if I'll be able to finish this today. And even if I do finish it today, I probably won't be able to update my thoughts until tomorrow. So expect a reading update tomorrow at best. And hopefully I'm able to finish this one by tomorrow or today. We'll see. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far on Rock, Paper, Scissors. I wanted to pick up the Weaver Bride. I still do, but no, I don't really have the time, and I'm reading this one longer than I expected because yesterday my hair took me way longer to take down. That style that I did was very tangly, a very tangly style.
will not be doing again. And even accidentally cut my hair. That got me mad. Yeah, so I will not be doing that style again for sure. That was like one of the worst hair take-downs experience of my life. But anyways, I'm gonna continue rock paper scissors.
Okay, it's time to wrap up this week's reading vlog. I just finished reading Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I am looking forward to reading more Alice Feeney thrillers because I actually enjoyed Rock, Paper, Scissors. It took me way longer than I expected to finish this book. This week didn't go as planned, obviously, but yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a solid 4 stars though, not anything higher because let's first start off with what I talked about earlier this week, where I feel like I read too much of like a horror novel, which I didn't really hate that about it. I just was confused as to why it was reading like a horror novel, but it gave it more of a nicer vibe, I guess you could say, to the book. Like I wasn't mad at it. I was just confused because I was expecting like a simple thriller because I'm honestly used to just reading Freedom McFadden thrillers. So this was obviously very different. And the couple in here was very secluded, and not really much people around them, which I'm not really a fan of that, but it works for this book. It really works. And the twist, I say, because it was more than one. I was expecting like one little twist. It was like back to back to back. And I'm just like, girl, you have more. I was like, wow. It was worth the wait getting to the twist. I was like, what is gonna happen for this twist? And it was like more than one. And I wasn't expecting this very last character in the end. So I wasn't spoiled. Remember I spoke about being a little bit spoiled because I read the back and I saw a name. Well, honestly, it wasn't really a spoiler. I just knew something before everyone else, but I didn't really know the details, so it wasn't really a spoiler for me. But yeah, it was fun. I would just say I'm giving it 4 stars because I didn't have the most interest throughout this book in the beginning parts because they're secluded, there's no one else around them. It's just this couple arguing with each other and like being spooked out left and right, you know? But I was surprised by the twists and turns and like I was wondering, did I miss something? Because the details, I guess I didn't really pay attention to the details. I was just taking their word for it. And I love it. I love the little twist that we have in the end. It was a fun read. It was very different from like Freedom McFadden thrillers, which I need to stop comparing because that's what I'm used to. That's what I read first. I am looking forward to reading more from Alice Feeney. She definitely had a twist in mind. And yeah, it was a fun read. I didn't really get to read much this week. I thought I would be able to read 2.5 books. Like I'll be able to pick up The Weaver Bride, but I didn't get to picking that one up. And honestly, I'm gonna be switching over to probably reading this fantasy book that I bought recently. It's called How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days. It looks fun and sweet, and I want to read it. Yeah, I found it the other day on Goodreads, and I decided to buy it physically. It looks nice to read. It's not very long. It's like 200 and I know it's 300 pages, but still, as long as it's 300 pages, I don't consider it that long. If it's like 400 plus, that's what I consider long. Yeah. So that's what I have in mind to pick up for this new week. It's Sunday today, so ended off this week with a great thriller read. I was pleasantly surprised by that book. And I switched to contact lenses. That's what my appointment was on. I think it was Friday. Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. I said I had an appointment. My first time wearing contacts. I feel so nice. It's like it feels so good to be able to look around without glasses. It was a new experience because yesterday my eyes were red because I put on mascara and I think I got it into the contacts, so I cleaned it and everything, and like now it looks better today because it was not looking great yesterday. I was like, oh, I look terrible with these eyes. They're red. But yeah, I need to like learn better how to like take care of my health with wearing these. Your eyes are very important to your body. So yeah, let's end off this week's reading vlog right here. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye for now.